Welcome to our newest episode about samurai. Subscribe our channel and enjoy. Samurai were the military nobility and officer caste of medieval and early modern Japan. They were skilled warriors who served the ruling class and were renowned for their martial skills and discipline. The origins of the samurai date back to the Heian period, 794-1185, in Japan, when provincial warriors were hired by wealthy landowners to protect their property. These warriors gradually gained power and status, eventually becoming a distinct social class in Japanese society. By the Kamakura period, 1185 to 1333, the samurai had become the dominant military class in Japan, serving as the protectors and enforcers of the ruling class. The samurai were known for their strict code of conduct, known as Bushido, which emphasized honor, loyalty, and bravery. The code also required samurai to be skilled in martial arts, including swordsmanship, archery, and horseback riding. Samurai were expected to show great courage in battle and to always be willing to die for their lord. During the Edo period, 1603 to 1868, when Japan was ruled by a powerful shogunate, the role of the samurai changed. With the country at peace, the samurai became more focused on cultural pursuits, such as poetry, calligraphy, and tea ceremony, while still maintaining their martial skills. However, the samurai class began to decline in the late 19th century, with the end of the shogunate and the establishment of a modern, centralized government. The samurai were eventually disbanded in 1876, with the Meiji government abolishing their status as a separate class. Today, the legacy of the samurai lives on in Japanese culture, with their image appearing in movies, television shows, and video games. Many people also continue to study the martial arts and philosophy of the samurai, finding inspiration in their disciplined way of life. Sure, here are some additional facts and information about samurai. The samurai were known for their distinctive armor, which consisted of a helmet, breastplate, and leg guards made of lacquered metal or leather. The armor was often adorned with symbols or designs that represented the samurai's family or clan. The samurai were also known for their swords, which were considered a symbol of their status and honor. The most famous type of samurai sword is the katana, a curved sword with a single cutting edge. The samurai were typically associated with the ruling class, but there were also lower-ranking samurai who served as foot soldiers or guards. These lower-ranking samurai were known as a shigeru and were often armed with spears, bows, or matchlock guns. The samurai were not just warriors, but also held important administrative and political roles in Japanese society. Many samurai served as advisors to the ruling class or held positions in the government. Samurai were also expected to adhere to a strict moral code that emphasized loyalty, self-discipline, and humility. This code, known as Bushido, also placed great importance on personal honor and the idea of death before dishonor. One of the most famous samurai was Miyamoto Musashi, a legendary swordsman who lived in the 17th century. Musashi is known for writing the Book of Five Rings, a treatise on strategy and martial arts that is still studied today. Another famous samurai was Oda Nobunaga, a powerful daimyo who helped to unify Japan in the late 16th century. Nobunaga was known for his military tactics and his willingness to embrace new technologies and ideas, such as the use of firearms in battle. The samurai have had a lasting impact on Japanese culture and are often seen as symbols of discipline, honor, and courage. Today, the samurai continue to be celebrated in art, literature, and popular culture, and their legacy is an important part of Japanese history. The word samurai comes from the Japanese verb saburo, which means to serve. Samurai were considered servants of their lord and were expected to be loyal and obedient at all times. The samurai were heavily influenced by Zen Buddhism, which emphasized discipline, self-control, and the importance of living in the present moment. Many samurai studied Zen and incorporated its teachings into their daily lives. Samurai often lived in large, fortified castles that were designed to withstand attacks from enemy forces. These castles were often surrounded by moats and had multiple layers of walls and gates for added protection. In addition to their military and administrative roles, samurai also played an important cultural role in Japanese society. Many samurai were patrons of the arts and supported the development of literature, poetry, and theater. Samurai were trained from a young age in the art of swordsmanship, but they also studied other martial arts such as archery, horseback riding, and unarmed combat. Samurai often fought in battles that were dominated by cavalry charges and archery. The samurai would ride into battle on horseback, firing arrows at the enemy before closing in for hand-to-hand combat with their swords. One of the most famous battles in samurai history was the Battle of Sekigahara, which took place in 1600 and resulted in the establishment of the Tokugawa shogunate. The battle involved more than 160,000 soldiers and was fought over control of Japan. Despite their reputation as fierce warriors, the samurai were also known for their elegance and refinement. Many samurai practiced calligraphy, poetry, and other arts, and were expected to conduct themselves with grace and dignity at all times. The samurai class was officially abolished in 1868, following the Meiji Restoration. However, many samurai continued to play important roles in Japanese society as government officials, military officers, and leaders in industry and commerce. Thank you for watching. Subscribe our channel and see you in next episodes.